happening here as we are preparing for the final draw of the day. 5 sheets of ice will again be in action here in the Löfbergs Arena. Tonight's game will feature USA and Spain, the second biggest curling nation in the world, against the country that discovered it. Christopher Columbus and his voyagers said to have initiated Spanish colonization of the New World. But enough about ancient history. Today we'll make curling history as we see USA with 1 win, Spain with 1 loss. Taking a look at the standings for Group E, one of 6 groups here at the World Mixed Doubles Curling Championship. Belarus off with a flying start, 2 wins. Denmark and USA at 1 win, while we have Spain, Israel, Netherlands and New Zealand at 1 loss so far. We'll have the team lineups for you as well before we get things started. For USA, it's Joe Polo and Tabitha Peterson. And that team is coached by Wally Henry.
And the lineup for Spain, we've seen them before, Gonçalo Garcia and Iranzo Garcia, and their team coach is Kaylin Park from Canada. And here you see the rules of play in mixed doubles. There's 2 players, 1 male and 1 female. 6 stones per team, but 1 is pre-placed in every end. There are 8 ends, or 22 minutes of thinking time, and the players will throw either stones 1 and 5 or 2, 3 and 4, with the opportunities to switch position in between the ends. Both players are allowed to sweep. Holding the broom is optional, so you can choose if you want to have a skip or a sweeper from the start. No takeouts until the 4th stone of each end, which gives us aggressive games. And every team is allowed 1 power play per game when they have hammer, and the pre-positioned stones will then be moved out to the side to sit as a corner guard, and 1 stone in behind it, touching the tee line.
Well, it certainly seems a bit overwhelming, these mixed doubles rules, but I assure you they're quite simple to follow, and we'll take you through it. My name is Sander Elvåg, and I'm joined by our expert, commentator, superstar, Sara Karlsson.
Always so kind, Sander. I'll try to live up to those words.
So for Spain, Iranzo Garcia with the first draw, the outturn. You'll see USA's stone being placed in the forefoot. They are playing the red stones. Spain throwing the yellow will have the center guard. And this is usually a freeze or just a top button draw. And this one will find the face of the red stone perfectly. A good start for Spain. And then we're on to the US team. And it's Joe Polo.
Might be a little heavy.
Very experienced player, of course. Played many championships for the US men's team up through the years. And he will be looking to draw into the forefoot as well, which is really what the mixed doubles is very much about, is the forefoot play, at least at the start. And then it's really up to the teams if they want to shift things around.
Yeah, and two good draws to start off the game. Just keep freezing on to this, and Gonçalo Garcia is going to try and do the same thing. Both of these teams came undefeated through their nationals. 15 teams in Spain competing for the spot in the Worlds, but this team certainly the most experienced. They did get a bronze medal in Dumfries 2 years ago.
And this will be a tiny tap, I believe, but the shooter also spinning beyond that tee line. And neither team controlling the front of the house so far, so quite accessible for USA to put a draw on top of the forefoot. And how important is it to control the front, Sarah?
It's super duper important in mixed doubles. It's important in regular curling, but I'd say in mixed doubles it's really important just because we have so many stones in the forefoot. As soon as you come back at the tee line, your opponent's very likely to play a draw, and they're just going to freeze your stones away. So Tabitha Peterson is going to put this top forefoot all around the tee line.
Lots of room.
Well, Joe Polo on the sweep here to drag it all the way down there.
It's not even on that first
Now
one.
letting off it a wee bit, maybe just a bit wide for a line at the moment. So switching it up. Now sweeping with the curl, making these structures in the ice that the stone will follow. And we'll find the top four. Pretty decent spot there. Sort of in between those yellows. Decent line.
Now Spain electing to come down the same way. There is still going to be room to come on the intern side and also find some backing. There's a lot of backing.
Es mejor, te voy a dar un poco menos porque es mejor si vienes aquí no está mal del todo.
Vale.
Porque si hacemos esto es
Vale, sí.
So I think they'd like to come a little bit to the inside of the red one, just played by Tabitha Peterson.
Fuerzas mejor.
How much Spanish do you actually speak, Sarah?
Pretty much none.
Okay.
I was hoping for you for translation for this game.
lo que te he dicho. Sí, sí.
Well, I only know how to order food in Spanish, if anything.
Okay, so we'll leave it up to you Spanish listeners to make it up for yourselves.
We will try and use our curling knowledge to our best to figure out what the teams are doing. But of course, one of the elements that are maybe a little confusing for the fans at home as well is
Hay que tener cuidado
you
con
don't have to hold a broom. So sometimes it's hard to see where the teams are actually aiming and what they're actually choosing to do. But for all you English speakers out there, it's quite easy to understand Tabitha and Joe.
Can we leave it in like a bad spot though where they can?
We just don't want to leave it right next to it. If we get down
If we
into
do
here,
this, they might just freeze us too.
well, I'm good with this then if you want.
I'm fine with either.
Let's go this way.
It's really a nice thing for our sport. You're able to listen into the players, which I don't think you can do at a lot of other sports. Certainly some sports you wouldn't want to do that anyway.
No, but with all the strategy and all the discussion going on, I think it's a really great thing watching curling, and you can hear what the players' communication is like and also follow their thought process.
Well, curling is sometimes referred to as chess on ice, but I have watched chess and it's usually one-on-one, so there's no discussion really. And then you're not able to be inside the minds of the chess players, but you're definitely able to hear what the curling players are thinking.
Then I think this is going to come close to the guard, but it's looking good. Just want to come all the way down and sit shot stone here. It's a really nice draw. There is still room, but it's now a very pressured draw for Spain that's going to need to find the exact pocket. USA coming quite close to the guard, so it's possible that Spain's going to need to flirt with this a little as well.
No te quedes muy corto. No te quedes muy corto, tienes aquí sitio.
Vale.
Pero tira más suave que antes.
Sí. Fuerzas buena.
La línea también.
Gonzal is a left-handed player. Of course, will kick out from the other hack. Doesn't make a huge difference, but will have a slightly different line at times.
Poco más de ti.
Whoa. Whoa. Sí. Whoa. Oh. Whoa.
Yeah, beautiful draw, absolutely spot on, as good as he could make it, I think. But what's he leaving USA?
Sí. 14-16.
14-16.
Sí.
16.
Thinner the better.
So I'm running the red into the yellow.
Yeah, so thinner the better. If we hit right into the pocket, hit ours first, it's not a big deal. It's just going to kick them out the side.
Okay. What kind of weight?
Throw it good and hard.
Clear communication there, thin as you can, good and hard. Make the yellow one go. For Tabitha Peterson.
Yep. Hard, Joe.
Seems to be over curling here. We'll catch a pretty good chunk of that and spin things around a little bit. Certainly a lot of redstone still left in the house, and there's not too much backing for the shot stone at the moment, so maybe not terrible. I know how to be positive.
Not terrible, no. It's not exactly what you wanted to do, but there are 5 redstones still hanging around in the house, so it's definitely not safe for Spain.
Yo lo dejaría aquí.
Even though they are sitting shot.
Si la empujas un poco, es que si la empujas un poco no está mal, porque tiene el doble, pero... Espera,
A ver,
si
la
la
idea
dejas
es
aquí, tiene el
pero...
triple.
¿Tiene?
El triple.
Ya.
Yeah, just worried. I think
Aquí
if
no
they
está
nose
mal.
this, then
Siempre que seas dentro.
Joe
no puede ser
Polo will
fuera.
be able to make
Tiene que ser
the
dentro.
other ones go.
Hombre, es que el tiro ideal es aquí.
¿Quieres pues lo intentamos, sí, aquí. ¿Voy allí?
No.
So they are instead gonna put another one in there, try and freeze their yellow shot stone. She had a good draw down this path with her first, Iranzo Garcia. Basically, pretty much the same shot.
Solo fuerza. Fuerza es tuya. Línea tiene que caer. No, no. Tiene que caer. Está abierta. Sí, sí, para hacer algo. Sí. Irán, sí. Por otro lado. Por otro
Es que va
lado.
bien de fuerza, Gonzalo.
Pero que es que se va así.
A lot of communication all the way down here. And this won't find its top 4, but it's going to slip past everything.
So back line,
Yeah,
right here.
I think just maybe a little miscommunication. It sounded like Gonzalo really wanted her to sweep. And Iranzo just thinking it was a little heavy, didn't really want to, and then ended up somewhere in between.
Which broom should I use?
Use this one.
So Joe Polo needs to come around the guard, tap the yellow one out of the forefoot. This is for a potential score of as many as 3.
Plenty of weight.
Yeah, big shot for USA early on here.
Switch sides. No, stay there, stay there.
Back line.
Switch now, switch. Go hard, go hard.
So switching up to sweeping.
Hard tap.
Sweeping with the curl to get some finish here.
Hard.
This one is not too close to the guard. And it's not, well, it was close to the shot stone, but didn't move it far enough. And it will actually be a steal for Spain. That's certainly the kind of shot we've seen missed wide many times this week. Just the players maybe overthrowing them a bit. So Spain with a big let off there. 1-0 in favour of them as we have played one end.
Were you middle?
Ay, perdón.
¿Puedo tirar ya?
¿Qué?
¿Puedo
Sí.
tirar ya?
Sí, sí, ya puedes tirar.
So there you have it, a single point up on the scoreboard for Spain. España. And Iranzo Garcia will kick off the second end as well. USA will keep the last one advantage. But I'm sure they would rather have scored the 3
Es un pelín
than that
fuerte,
first
la
time.
veo yo, ¿eh? La veo como back four o algo
Yeah,
así.
just heard Tabitha calling that one. Plenty of weight straight out of Joe Polo's hand.
Por otro lado. Por otro lado. Sí. Oh.
Ya, pero ten cuidado porque no se cruzan tanto. Que ayer me hiciste un montón de esas de sí línea y no se me cruzaron tanto. Se cruzan es el breaking point, pero hay que tener cuidado.
So Spain has tapped this in a little bit of an angle. USA would love to come to the nose or either to the inside a little bit of the yellow. Just sit frozen there.
Hard if you do it.
Of course, they don't want to overcurl it too much.
I was just over curling. I got to
Yeah,
take a little more
both
ice.
of them are. Yeah.
Vale.
No está mal aquí.
Sí.
La línea la veo un pelín justa.
I might think that
Fuerzas bien,
9
buenas,
o'clock,
Steve.
that's
Sí,
it's a
línea.
bit late for a curling match, perhaps, but
Más de ti.
I wouldn't say these teams are suffering this week. They're mostly playing one game a day. It's actually quite a relaxed schedule, and I believe teams are. I think the bigger problem is finding things to do and when they're not curling.
Yeah, it'll be long days waiting, but it's also what happens when you have 42 teams in total in the same championship. Of course, everyone fighting for ice time. No, but it's a very busy schedule in Love Barry's Arena this week.
I believe that's what we call a good problem.
I would believe you're right. And the players don't, they will not get too worn down before the playoffs.
Whoa! Yep! Whoa! Yep!
So Gonzal came a little deep,
Hard, Joe!
and USA now has a chance to sit 2 and even 3. So it is a nice shot by Tabitha, but there's still a bit of a wall here. Quite a lot of room for Gonzal to lock one on, both of the reds.
Yeah, taking his time in the hack there. I think that's
Líneas muy
Fuerzas
abiertas.
pretty smart. I think we've seen a lot of
Solo
players
línea, fuerzas
stressing a
buenas,
lot.
go.
They're running down to the hack. They're not really going through their usual pre-shot routine that they might have in the regular curling format and stressing a bit too much. Of course, time management is very important in mixed doubles curling, but I believe you need those 2-3 extra seconds in the hack to just compose yourself rather than skip on it.
Yeah, it's definitely, I mean, as important to take your time to really make the shot properly as it is to choose the right shot.
Like back 8?
Yeah, back eight's good.
Have about half of it.
Okay.
like
Try to
nose?
get inside of it.
Okay.
Nose or an inch inside is great.
Where were you aiming draw shot here? Edge?
About that far outside edge.
Okay, straightening up a little.
So the American team is gonna
Get back.
try to create some space. That yellow one is frozen onto the red one, so just back 8. Wait for Tabitha here.
Close.
Get rid of the backing.
Whoa, lots of room. Lots of room, Joe.
Leave their shooter sitting on top or a little bit
Lots
on
of
the
room
inside.
still. Lots of room.
Just trying to get this to curl as much as possible now.
Good judge.
Dejas aquí, no hay doble.
Really good.
3 times Tabitha Peterson has played the World Women's Curling Championship. Twice as a lead for Alison Pottinger. And this year, Swift Current as an alternate for Erica Brown.
La veo lenta.
Fuerzas igual.
Oh. Sí.
Gonzal, on the other hand, has won the World Mixed Doubles Championship
Fuerte, Gon.
under his belt.
Fuerzas.
And also been playing the World Junior B competition this year, trying to qualify Spain for for the top 10 to get to the World Juniors in Tornby, but even with a 6-3 record, was not able to qualify. It's pretty tough nowadays to get through to the World Juniors.
I think all championship experience is good, even if playing men's or worlds or juniors. I think it's always good to be on this ice with these stones, and also with your nation's color on your back.
As long as you hit it at least a quarter.
And I think we're going to see another appeal here from Tabitha. Hit their own red, the one that she just played.
I think a third makes it.
Kick the top yellow out to the side, and the other yellow back.
Third, we're at least lying 2, I think. But I think quarter, they all go.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Go ahead, yep. Yep. Hard.
See how much you will have. And she's done enough to kick them out, leave USA sitting 2.
I drug it pretty far.
Yeah.
Good throw. I didn't think I'd throw it like that. Es que no me gusta eso.
Es que si no, no me meto aquí. Siguen puntuando 2.
Vale. Pero asegúrate que sea muy fina, ¿eh? Aunque sea muy fina, ya haces esto. O sea,
¿Pero
tiene que
qué
ser
fuerza
fina.
quieres que tire?
¿Eh?
¿Qué fuerza quieres que tire?
Backhand.
Es que me da miedo tirar backgate. Prefiero hacer un draw y hacer aunque sea un tap así y que solo hagan 2.
Aquí.
Porque como se lo abra son 3.
Sí.
3 o si la empujan 4. No, te da un menos. Bueno.
Pero tú, esa está más abierta ahí. Voy para allí, ¿vale? Irán.
Tap, tap.
Tendrá que ser como 13-5, así.
That's them blasted out of there.
We can also hear
Deprisa, súper fina.
USA's plan.
Pide, pide.
Spain's going to try and tap the yellow one up
Tiene que ser tan thin.
for a second
No,
or
pero
shot.
Si no, como la abra hacia el otro lado, se
And
acabó.
Joe Polo
Espera,
thinking
y
that
si no, bueno, sí. Y si
they're
que
going
si no,
to
volvería-
then have to blast everyone, everything out of there.
Déjala caer para que vaya por el hueco, intentarlo, ¿vale?
We will see how it lies.
Back close.
Whoa. 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 Whoa.
This is
Cerca. Whoa.
Iranthus Garcia's 8th World Mixed Doubles. She's probably one of the more experienced players in the field. And she makes a pretty nice tap here, but I'm afraid USA still have a chance to score big.
Lo he intentado.
Yo creo que era más fin.
Oh, you want the
Has only
shooter to
missed
try to
one
stick,
World
or
Mixed
no?
Doubles.
What's that?
Spanish female
want your
player.
shooter to
That was
stick?
back in 2009, but
That's pretty tough, I think, isn't it?
Okay.
made them all
You only got
except
half.
that one.
I I got 2/3.
That's fairly impressive.
Yeah, that's fine. Normal's good.
And as you mentioned,
For my
did
peel,
medal
I aimed edge,
back in
but I kind
2014.
of set it
So
out a
just
bit.
throw normal and take like there, huh? So I'm just trying to hit a piece of it for 3, right?
Yeah. I like normal.
There you go, and there's the plan from Joe Polo. Just try and hit this red stone top 4, almost as thin as you can, really. And that'll go sideways. Hit that yellow stone just thrown by Spain. That'll go out the side door of the forefoot, and there should be 3 red stones counting.
Yeah, and I guess if you hit just a little too much of it and spill that top red, it'll be at least 2.
Not taking a whole lot of ice here, Joe Polo.
Line's
Not
fine,
expecting
Joe.
this one to move very much. He's playing pretty firm weight. Last stone here of the second end. He will make contact, will keep that red stone in the forefoot. It's a great one.
3 red.
And it's 3 points for USA, as they will now lead Spain by 2. Well, he had a chance to score 3 in the first end, couldn't quite make it, and he has now redeemed himself with a 3 on the scoreboard. Good on him.
Should be good.
Yeah, it looks a little soft right now.
Back in action here in the third end. It is Joe Polo to throw the first stone. Himself also throwing the last stone at the previous end, scoring 3. So it is USA up by 2. And it's Spain who have it all to do.
You're all absolutely right, Sander. This, I guess, is the tricky part with mixed doubles, with playing the 1 and 5 position. Just throw an appeal to score 3, probably quite excited, and then you just have to calm down and throw that perfect draw. But no problem for Joe Polo. He actually puts that in the perfect spot, if you ask me. And Iranzo Garcia, she's 52% for the tournament. I'm sure she'd like to improve a little bit on those numbers. They had a loss to Denmark in their first game. And this will be their second game for the week. And that, I'm afraid, is not going to improve on those numbers, as it's well through the rings.
I had pretty much middle.
You better for me?
I take care less. Try to keep that angle though.
Okay.
So they're saying that Tabitha might take a bit less ice than Joe Polo. Why is that?
Well, it's possible that she has a bit of a different release, maybe a little more rotation, maybe a little more positive out to, I was going to say out towards the broom, but I guess out towards the target in this case, which will mean that her stones will curl just a little bit less. And it's good that they know this. This team has not been together for that long. They were put together and they've played maybe 15, 20 games together as a mixed doubles team. They went also undefeated through the American Championships.
I do believe Joe Polo actually told me that made it undefeated through to the final and lost one of the final games. But since they were undefeated, they had a second chance and then won again. If I'm not mistaken, if I understood Joe Polo correctly. They also didn't actually qualify for the nationals, but the federation They told him, you know what, you're too good not to be in the nationals, so we're going to put you in. And what did you know? They did quite well.
I'd say they did very, very well.
Yes.
And they're doing very well here as well. Just lining up those stones behind the center guard. And it's going to be Gonçal to now open things up. If you want to run this back and spread things around the rings.
Oh boy. Has been able to shift some granite here. Garcia leaves 1 US stone in the forfeit, but it's hard to do much better than that. Of course, leaves the shooter on the center line. That is a very good effort by the young Spaniard. Not setting up for a big end for Spain, more damage control here. And that is the problem with mixed doubles curling, is sometimes maybe you start off with a few bad shots, you bail out, you try and keep it open, maybe you blank the end. You keep the last stone, you try again in the next end. But that doesn't work in mixed doubles curling, does it?
No, it does not. So if you blank the end, the hammer will go to your opponent. So you're much better off taking your point. If you're forced to take one, you also could just as well try and go for the multiple score and be a little aggressive from the start.
I think that's what Spain needs to do. Just a cautious aggression.
Yeah, maybe just in this end also just try and make sure they don't give up a steal. They're only trailing by 2 points, which is not much in mixed doubles. So make sure that they score one and don't let USA get too far ahead.
Throwing the big weight again here. He was pretty much on point with his first one. This one may be a touch wider. It's just going to run it past the reds, but at least the shooter will spin off and open it up. Problem now, though, is USA will throw another center guard, and this time that guard will be red.
Just put it back.
Same way?
No, I can put it back. Get nice and tight.
Same turn?
Sure. You played that a couple times, you know. Yeah, just nice tight guard.
Just to replace the guard here.
Line's pretty good.
We've said before, Sander, it's sometimes even more tricky to put up a really good guard than a good draw in mixed doubles because you're so used to that path towards the tee line, and with quite a bit of curl on the ice and the stones, it can be difficult. It looks like Tabitha has done a pretty good job there. He wanted it nice and tight. So one more cleanup attempt by Spain before they're going to have to make a shot to score a point.
I believe we'll see the big weight again here. Throwing the high hard one down the center line. Trying to run off some reds. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, and everything just about will fly out. That's another great shot by Gonçal. Leaves 1 US stone in the 12th foot, but certainly open up the scoring area.
He certainly throws a lot of weight out on his peels. Just gets everything flying. And I think Ranzo is pretty happy about that, since she's the one that's going to throw the last stone. She's looking a lot more open now. She should at least have full 4 foot to score.
I think that was smart then by Spain, coming off to a bad start, just bailing early and going for their single.
I think so. I think we've seen teams just waiting and waiting with the bailing option, and then all of a sudden it's not there anymore, and you're looking at 4 or 5 opposition counters.
Plenty of room, Tab.
See, 75% for Joe Polo. It's good mixed doubles numbers. They had a big win in their first game when they played New Zealand. Try and get as good as a shot stone in as they can here.
Really soft release on you there.
As he said, really soft release will make the stone lose a little bit of his speed, so just makes the top 12 foot. And
couple more feet for you.
Iranzo Garcia now has 8 feet to put this yellow one to score.
Ooh, that second draw you threw under there was just perfect. Staggered
Nice force, says Tabitha, meaning they are forcing Spain to take their single to get the last one back. And here is the last stone of the third end for Spain. Should be a pretty routine shot here just to get to the 8 foot.
No, es buena. Still line.
She put her first draw through the rings, but Gonzal calling this T-line, I believe.
Good shot.
So no problem with this one. It's right in the middle.
Yeah, and it's a single score for Spain. They'll be up on the board a second time. Only trailing by USA by 1 point. But USA up 1 with last stone as we come back with the fourth end.
Probablemente ellos sean mejores cuando veamos que esto, pues al final pues podemos abrir y crearnos este espacio.
Y ya hemos visto cómo ha ido.
Y crearnos este espacio. ¿Qué ha sido botón?
Sí, ha sido botón. Yo creo que se ha pasado un pelín, pero sí. La misma fuerza yo creo que está bien para ahora.
Vale, el outturn, vale.
Sí.
But I think I like bumping. Moving them a little bit.
Joe Polo and Tabitha Peterson will be watching on as Spain, with having scored that single in the third, they will start the fourth end. I believe this is a good time for us to look elsewhere in the Löfbergs Arena. Sarah, anyway, you can update us on the other scores.
I believe I can. Belgium scored 4 in the third end. They're playing Slovakia, so they're up 4-2. Austria is up 3-1. They're playing Germany. Switzerland has a 2-1 lead over Latvia, and Finland is up 5-0 on Sweden. They stole 3 in the third end.
A little closer.
I think I gotta go.
Okay, go ahead. Mine's good. Mine's really good. All the way to it. Mine's great, Tab. Mine's just to it, though. Don't want to tap it. Don't want to tap it.
And this looks like a really nice draw by Joe Polo.
Wait.
Don't want to tap it though, just want to sit right there. And that's a good shot.
Acuérdate del final.
Sí.
Fuerza es buena.
¿Es fuerte?
No, sí.
Es un poco abierta todavía, ¿eh? Sí.
¿Por qué lado?
Por el... ¡Oh, sí! ¡Sí!
Más de ti.
Sí, sigue, sigue. Oh, oh. Oh, oh.
Just over curling there, and I believe Spain doesn't have the best angles at the moment.
Okay.
If you move it back to here, this one's in jail.
In jail.
Yeah, of course, meaning that the yellow one will serve as backing, and that red one is not going to go anywhere. It's going to take a couple of shots to move it.
So just tap it, back button, back forefoot.
That was a new term for me when I was doing the World Juniors, and Joe Polo was so kind to tweet us and explain what in jail means.
So maybe that's why he's using it now, because he knows that you know what it means.
Yes, but he also said he was going to introduce a couple of new terms that I wouldn't know what is, so we need to keep our ears out for that as well.
You got room. Room. Coming nice.
I'm sure he's just going to start making up stuff.
Line's good. Yeah, I gotta go hard.
It's always nice to get a few new terms.
Sorry, Joe.
This one just over curling. We're hoping to maybe freeze the yellow or tap it back. Ends up coming to the face of their own red
Wasn't
stone.
as heavy as I thought.
Yeah, it's okay. I just turned over a little bit early.
And Joe and Tabitha definitely have a quite calm demeanor on the ice. They don't seem to get too upset. Of course, they are up in the game, but so far they've been quite calm, been able to communicate quite constructively.
I think that's so important in mixed doubles play. There's only the two of you out there, so you need to make sure that there's good and supportive communication. Because it's not like you can go to any of your other teammates and get them to support you.
No mucho.
Está abierta. Es que no va.
You think women and men communicate differently on the ice?
Fuerza es fuerte.
Quite possibly, and if most of all, I think it's really important that you actually play mixed doubles together with your partner, and not just put two players together that can throw stones and figure this will be fine, because they might have completely different ways of working and communicating, and might just not clash.
Well, we've certainly see a lot of couples, married couples. We got sisters, and of course just good friends playing together at the World Mixed Doubles up through the years. Even father, daughter, and I'm not sure if we've seen mother and son yet. I'm sure there has been.
No, we might still be waiting for that one. And Tabitha will have another go at the same shot. Just over curling the last one.
Stay close.
Should have a very good idea of what this is going to do now.
Little tap.
Yep. Moving hard, yep. Hard.
They were waiting. Now the question is, did they wait too long?
That's nice.
That does get contact with that yellow stone. I think Tabitha thought she lost that one.
They just snapped.
Ends up in a pretty decent spot, I think.
Just a hair more, but it's probably perfect.
Yeah, Spain looking at the in-off of their own, but I'm not sure the red ones are really going to go anywhere. So we have seen Gonçalo Garcia throw really big weight, and also being very accurate with it.
Ya. Inténtalo.
El lino.
Sí.
So big weight here. Needs to get past the guard firstly. They will. And that stone has nestled into the 1 foot. But how good is it? Sometimes it will take a second to just, you know.
Yeah, so
have an
many stones
overview.
everywhere. You just need a couple of minutes to see what actually happened.
Doesn't really move those stones on the 4 foot too much.
I think they managed to squeeze in for shot though, and it's It's just a question, like, what does USA have to get it out of there?
Is it red or is it yellow? Pretty close.
That's really good.
Yeah.
I like that.
Just play for nose though.
Play for nose, and if it over curls and ticks our middle one, it's perfect.
So playing
All
for
right, what kind of
nose on the yellow. Knowing that Spain only has the one stone
There's
left.
one only yellow one in there, at least.
Well, you see the middle red stone just peeking out just by an inch or two. If you ever catch that,
Okay.
it's really good. You'll see that yellow shot stone move out the side door. But by just playing the nose out on the yellow, I think they're really closing down the scoring area for Spain, and it'd be really hard to see them score more than their single. If they are shot stone, that is.
And also remember that USA has hammer.
Nice weight.
That is also true.
Hold on.
That will also be something to consider.
Whoa.
So if they get rid of 2 yellows here, it's a really lonely one left.
Yeah. Whoa.
That's really good.
Yeah, I think they're quite happy with that.
Nice shot.
And it is one lonely yellow in the forfeit.
Ya, pero no, así hacen dos.
Bueno, ya, pero no tienes
I
otra
couldn't
cosa
really
que
tell
hacer.
where the red one was. I'm like, ah!
Y si vengo aquí,
Ya, pero si vienes aquí y te quedas un poco abierta, les das el doble, facilísimo.
hombre, no, porque iría a esa.
Sí, viene a esa, pero hace esto. Y tienen 3.
Gon, tengo que meter otra, yo creo. Esa, como haga un poco abierta, es que me saco la mía.
Pero en todo caso, asegúrate aunque sea aquí.
Vale.
Yo creo que es aquí. El tiro es aquí. O aquí, vamos. No puedes
Aquí no está mal, ¿eh?
No, porque no puedes dejarles el acceso a la amarilla con la que tiras. La amarilla tiene que estar bloqueada por esta. No puede hacer recta.
Ya, pero él tiene lo que te he dicho yo.
Ya, pero algo tienes que dejarle. No puedes tapar todo. O sea, no puedes
Ya,
venir
pero
aquí
sí,
y
a ver,
tapar
Gonza,
esto.
pero si vengo aquí, por lo menos él al hacer esto, solo puntuaría una igualmente. Si vengo aquí,
¿Vale?
él al hacer
Aquí-
eso
vale,
puntúa
ve-
2.
pero ven aquí.
Bueno, tiro y vamos viendo.
No, a ver, eso no. Tira y vamos
o
viendo.
sea,
no.
quiero decir, si voy, si voy
Ven
esto, pon
aquí y si va un poco aquí, déjala en freeze, pero que no vea la amarilla entera. El
Voy-
tiro así es mucho más
hago
complicado.
a barrer, ¿vale?
Vale. La mitad de rojo, yo creo. Pero, Irán,
¿Qué?
necesitas un barredor.
No, da igual.
¿Seguro?
Sí. Salgo yo.
So thinking that that yellow one is a little lonely, I think they're gonna put another one in here. Just freeze to their own.
Línea es buena.
La
Solo
fuerza
fuerza.
también. Es un poco lenta, necesito ayuda. Sí. Sí.
Gonzalo out to help with the sweeping.
¡Fuerte!
And it's Iranzu taking over the line call. Looking to maybe corner freeze the top one here. Or are they looking to freeze their own yellow?
Bien.
Either way, it has ended up in front of their own yellow, but
La has bloqueado.
is there any chance for USA to get them going?
Si lo llego a pasar, puntúa la amarilla.
Te he dicho que estabas en súper desde el principio.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as I hit half a rock or so, it's fine.
Seems like Joe Polo will just play the hit on that Yellowstone thrown by Spain. I'm thinking he will be scoring with the red shot stone and the one top 4. No?
No,
My
they're
apologies.
yeah, they're actually going for to hit their own red and then try and squeeze the yellow one out to the side.
Last
Yeah, if
stone
you
of the
can.
4th end, Joe
Yeah,
Polo
if you can, Joe, yeah.
looking to catch a piece of the stone, and as you said, try and
Gotta go.
get that yellow one moving. They will, and I believe that's not good enough to score 2. A good shot again by Joe Polo. That will bring the scoreline to 5 points for USA, 2 points for Spain, as the teams will head off for the halftime break. where they will have a chance to talk to their coach
I kind of don't know like how much we
and maybe talk
could
about
hit
Usar el power play.
full. So
maybe
this
not
is
the
good.
first 4 ends, maybe not keep that for later, but rather discuss what they're going to do for the next 4 ends.
Sounds like a good plan.
We'll have some highlights for you as well. And I think maybe we can just take the time to update on the other scores before that happens.
Of course, Sweden's now down to Finland. Finland's up 6-0. 3-2, Latvia with a 1-point lead over Switzerland. And it's 6-1 in favor of Austria playing Germany. And finally, it's 5-4, Slovakia with the lead over Belgium.
Well, thank you very much.
In the first end of this game between Spain and USA, it was Joe Polo with the last stone of the end, and he has
Shot to get some finish here.
tap back to score a potential 3. He won't quite curl enough, and it'll actually be a steal of 1. So Spain off to an early lead in this game. In the second end, it's USA and Joe Polo again, this time with a hit for 3. Going off their own to pick the yellow shot out to the side. And he managed to do so perfectly. USA scores 3 to take a 3-1 lead after 2 ends. In the third end, Gonzalo Garcia with a really nice peel, cleaned everything up, and Iranzo could just draw to the 8-foot to pick up a score of 1. She will put it right on the button, and Spain will close the gap. It's now 3-2. And finally, before the fourth end break, it was a similar shot for Joe Polo as when they scored a 3, hitting their own red to push the yellow one out to the side, and that will be enough for USA to score 2, and they will be ahead 5-2, half the game played.
If you're just joining us, we're in the Löfbergs Arena here in Karlstad, Sweden. It's for the World Mixed Doubles Curling Championship. My name is Sander Ulvåg, and I'm joined by our lovely expert, Sara Karlsson. And what is happening now? The stones are not on the center line anymore.
I will tell you, this is power play, which means that Spain has elected to use their one chance to have power play. You can use it when you have hammer and once per game, never in the extra end. It means that you will start the end off with a stone on the T line, just touching the tee line, and the stone without hammer will have a corner guard. So what Joe Polo is now trying to do is actually take the corner guard into a center, but he will actually over curl it. I think it's just
Like I thought it was backline.
lost a lot of weight. I'll sit in the forefoot, back forefoot instead.
63.
I do believe he was trying to catch the high side of that stone and
Yeah,
ends up
that's-
over curling it completely.
That's what we normally see, because of course you're allowed to lose your shooter, but you're not allowed to hit anything, so that would be the easier way.
Líneas buena.
Well, at least
Es un poco fuerte.
that stop does end up in the back of the forefoot. It's a stone that Spain will need to move at some point
Por el otro lado.
to get these stones in behind the corner guard into play. So they're basically just trying to load up the wing here, as many L's as possible. This one not curling on them.
Había que asegurar.
And that's going to sit pretty much in the open. But USA, I believe, will not be able to hit any stones yet. You need to count them up. You need 5 stones in play to be able to make a hit, and there's only 4. You're certainly allowed to move them. If you're cheeky enough, you can tap that yellow stone just out the rings. But I believe that's maybe a tiny bit too audacious.
Yeah, that's a precise shot for sure, and
Maybe a little light.
you'd risk just having it all
Line's good.
undone
Line's a little tight.
if you push it just a little too far. And they are
Line's a little
electing
tight.
to
Line's
come
good.
towards the center line again. We're trying to sit
Come on,
2 in the middle.
Good sweep.
Sí.
And it's a nice shot. I'm not exactly sure what the call was there, because
Half a rock, eh?
Yeah.
even
Over
now,
the top of that.
with that sort of half guarding their shot stone,
Try to go
Spain's
thin,
now allowed to hit, and Gonzalo Garcia will do
Es
so.
un pelín abierta.
And if he gets this right, he will also roll in towards the corner guard. And then they'll have quite the collection out there.
Fuerte. Sí. Oh, oh.
Pretty nice hit and roll. 3 yellows on the wing.
Ha ido bien de línea y
And
eso.
now, of course, USA will also be allowed to start hitting stones. You might see them make a hit on that open yellow.
Yeah, I might also go for a double here.
A double, you say?
A double USA.
Well, that is Tabitha Peterson throwing a high, hard one down here. So you think she might be looking to slash double here, but this is going to over curl, and we'll sit there for a second shot, so not too bad.
Well, I do think it's fully open. So Gonzalo has another attempt of that roll. And you see the other 2 yellows, they're lined up beautifully behind the corner guard.
Sí.
Maybe got this one going a little bit, calling it hard for line straight away. Do not want to pick up the corner guard here, but they have.
Has hecho.
Well, I would really like to not use the word disaster, but sometimes it is quite hard.
Yeah, I'm sure he would love to have that one back. Corner guard was in the perfect place for them.
And now Tabitha Peterson will have a chance to make a play onto these yellows. Perhaps make the double this time. Joe Polo having a bit of a stumble to get sweeping, but it's not even needed. Peterson makes a perfect double there, pretty much unswept.
About getting ready to switch over and
I know, I saw you like.
just about went down.
It's hard also to. He was getting ready to switch over to sweep on the other side, and with peel weight and your slider on, and then switching sides, I would have been flat on my face.
¿Cómo va?
Fuerza es buena.
Línea también.
Sí.
Sí.
Mirad prisa atrás, ¿eh?
Sí.
A couple of shots left for Spain to set up for two.
Sí.
Starting off with this draw to come around the centre guard, maybe onto the back red. Just a nudging off it. Will sit for shot. Back four, in behind cover.
This one over here should go right on there, right?
If that's what you like, I mean, you could probably come down and bump it to here too.
Sure.
It's up to you. I mean, that's that same line you had in the first end.
Okay.
So Joe Polo looking at the option
Whatever
of
you like,
going for their own reds, angle them back onto the yellow shot stone, and Tabitha suggesting you could go for the yellow one directly.
Joe. Then do it.
Okay.
I think they're lined up pretty good. I think it'd be hard to miss it, actually.
Yeah, and I remember he did actually miss that first one that she was referring to when she said, this is the one you had in the first end, so...
Well, in the end, I don't think they're going to play the hit. Just playing the draw. They could just draw the lead here. It'd be hard for Spain to move it to score two, but I'm sure they prefer to just come all the way down onto the yellow, maybe even bump it to try and sit two. Now looking pretty good here. And it will come to the face of that yellow. Not sure if they're sitting two, but certainly not the concern for USA. They have been able to make sure that Spain's not scoring more than one here. And that is the main objective. And this could be the third time Spain will score a single, although keeping in mind the first score was a steal.
Yeah, if they were like frozen, it'd be a lot easier to.
I felt comfortable with that line, so.
Yeah.
Last stone of the fifth end for Spain, trailing three. Needing one here to keep it as tight as possible. Both on the sweep here to bring it all the way down to the 1 foot. Starting to look quite happy with the weight. Has anyone been watching the line? I believe they have. It's a perfect shot. Comes down to cover the pin, and it's a score of one for Spain. But they all still trail by two. USA up 5 shots to 3.
Voy a prepararle, a ver si rascamos 10 segundos del...
Sí.
Through the 8.
Línea bien, solo fuerza.
Es un poco lenta. No, stop for...
Back in action here on sheet Delta.
Línea es muy buena.
Up the back Serena.
Sí, línea.
USA up by 2.
No, línea no. Línea no.
Spain will be chasing the game and hopefully setting up for steal. This draw just a slightly unprecise. And will bounce the red stone. And Joe Polo quickly out the hack here.
Yeah, like 8.
On the out turn. Looking to maybe just freeze the hill.
It's coming down though.
I'm sure a little tap will be fine as well. Just kind of open up the scoring area a wee bit.
Yeah, USA's been really good playing this exact path for both the second and the fourth end.
It's not the first time Joe Polo's out turns over curled a tad. Just maybe needing to take a bit more ice.
Fuerza es buena.
¿Sí?
No.
Oh, la veo un pelín abierta.
Fuerza, Steve.
La
Más de
veo un
ti.
pelín abierta todavía, ¿eh?
Gonzalo Garcia just going to follow
Todavía no,
this.
está viniendo.
I think this might have a little more speed to it.
Sí.
And actually gets rid of that backing, so Tabitha Peterson can now try and freeze onto the yellow one. And that would be a great setup for USA. I'm sure they would love to really be in the driver's seat if they could score another multiple points here in the sixth end.
Line's good. Starting to move. Here it comes, Joe. It's over curling.
And that's really good draw weight from Tabitha Peterson.
Sweeper's delight.
Yes.
And barely had to touch that one, Joe Polo.
Just watch it until it's perfect and then you go, voila. So there's not a lot of room for this draw that Spain's now going to play. And we've seen them over curl this path a few times. This one as well, looking way short and also on the guard. Actually over curling a little bit there, leaving them staggered as well.
And Gonzalo has been sweeping a lot today. I wouldn't be surprised if he's a little tired by now. He's been working as hard as a Duracell bunny.
Yeah, that can definitely also impact your throwing. If you get a little tired, it's late in the evening, you've swept a lot, and then you have to find that sharp focus. It's not the easiest.
Right.
Tabitha asking her stone to bite, and I think it will. Just enough to go top four again. Sweeper's delight. Not even a stroke to it.
So Joe Polo has absolutely no excuse for not finding the right energy and focus for his last shot.
Well, I believe Joe Polo will be more rested than Gonzalo here. Yeah, they're all athletes though, and playing one game a day should take a bit for them to be too spent, if you will.
Yeah, I think they're well trained for this.
And this one not needing any sweeping.
No. It's just over adjusted, I guess, from the last one being short. And while we wait for USA to try and put yet another red stone in the 4-foot, can tell you that we have a first finish here. And it's actually the Finnish team beating Sweden in 6 ends, 8 shots to 2. So that's 2 losses for the Swedes. And I believe 2 wins for Finland. So I think this one has a lot more speed than the previous one that Tabitha just threw. Find some backing and still in the 4-foot.
Just too much weight.
Spain still chasing that little piece of the 1 foot. Last stone of the end for them. Can't really afford any more mistakes, or they're going to give up a multiple score for sure. So deep breath, Iranzo Garcia. And make a perfect draw.
Sí. Oh, no veo gol, no veo el otro lado. Oh!
Well, this one's hanging out there. Really key shot right here. Needing to settle down, find the curl. Doesn't quite do so, and I believe USA are lying too.
Right?
Yeah,
Unless you just want to do this for 3.
yeah, either. I mean, that you got less
What's
than
easier?
half. Maybe a C in the hack.
I mean, this is edge to edge, and this I've got this much of.
Right.
Joe Polo seeing 2
I
options
like
here.
either, Joe. We've done this one
Let's
before.
play this one.
Okay.
And they're going to go for the one on the right-hand side as we see it. It's a little riskier. If you ever catch your own red,
Yeah.
you could push your shot stone out, but this is the exact same shot that he's thrown with his last, both in the second and the fourth end. So I guess they really know this path and this throw.
And it's so much more fun, Sarah.
Yes.
Last stone of the 610, Joe Polo looking for, what can you call it? Slash, sideways, something action. Get the yellow ones flying. Perfect shot, Joe Polo once again. He missed the one on the first end, but after that he's made some cracking shots. That's for 4, and the game, USA will win 9 shots to 3. A very impressive performance by the US team.
Never a
And the
doubt.
Spanish just
That was pure.
didn't
That
quite
was a
have
really good
what
throw.
it took to challenge the Americans today.
No, that was definitely Joe's bread and butter all day.
I'm like, just stay right there.
And
Clean it.
they were just really, really stable for the entire game. Never in doubt.
Look at all those.
And I can tell you that, well, Finland beat Sweden. Switzerland is 1 point up, 4-3, playing Latvia. Austria beat Germany, also in 6 ends. Final score there, 9-2. And finally, Slovakia with a huge score of 4 in the 6th end. The game's still going on over there, but Slovakia has 11-4 lead. And we're going to bring you some highlights from this game between USA and Spain. Also an interview with the Team USA. And of course, you can join us again tomorrow at 2:30 when we're going to give you the game between Finland and Austria. But for now, stay tuned for highlights. In the first end of this game between Spain and USA, it was USA with a potential score of 3 in the first end. Joe Polo has a tap back to make it happen. Just a little too much weight, so it won't curl quite enough. Not enough to move the yellow one off the button, and Spain will steal one in the first end.
He dicho en el tema de la fuerza, porque yo creía que iba más suave.
And in the second end, it's once again Joe Polo, and with a chance for 3 also in the second end. Outturn slash, and no mistakes this time. Yellow one goes flying out, and USA picks up a score of 3 in the second end. And in the third end, it was looking like USA was really putting some pressure on Spain, but they did a good job cleaning it up. And in the end, Iranzo Garcia had a draw to the 8 foot to score 1. No doubts, she will put this on the button, and they will make the game closer. After 3 ends, it's 3-2. And in the fourth end, a similar shot for Joe Polo, trying to catch a piece of their own to push the yellow one out the side door. And he will do so. It's enough to score 2, and that will give them a 5-2 lead after 4 ends. And then in the fifth end, it was power play by Spain, but in the end, Garcia had to draw the button for a score of 1 once again. She'll make it right there, close the gap a little more, so 5-3.
In front of the camera.
And in the sixth end, we've seen Joe Polo make this shot several times in this game. Outturn slash. Gets the yellow, the red, and push the other yellow out. Enough to score 4. Amazing shot once again by Joe Polo, and handshakes. USA wins the game 9 shots to 3. Now we're going to hear an interview with Team USA, and tomorrow you can join us again at 2:30 for the game between Finland and Austria.
A dominant performance against Spain. Take us through the game, Joe.
Well, we had the first end set up pretty good. I missed the last one, overthrew a little bit, and Tab played great, put some pressure on him, and I made a few shots to finish off ends, and that's kind of all she wrote.
Joe missed the first one, but after that he made a lot of good shots.
Lots of good ones. Yeah, I mean, both kind of just fed off each other and made a lot of good ones out there, so it felt really good.
I believe USA has never medalled at the World Mixed Doubles. Is that an extra incentive for you to do well at the event?
Well, always. U.S. has won a few medals at the Worlds this year now, and I think we want to kind of continue that.
Definitely, and we would definitely want to place high enough, but definitely medal. That would be nice too, for Olympic points and everything like that too. So.
Talking about the Olympics, is that important for you? Do you want to get to the Olympics as mixed doubles, or are you more focused on the men's and women's competitions?
I think we're open to both.
Yeah, I think any way we can get there, we're happy. So.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thank you.